As the new generation gains momentum, the disinformation and attack campaign by detractors begins. This effort, initiated by P&M Abroad, is a 100% led youth effort in politically encouraging young people from all walks of life to actively participate in the business of politics as well as entrepreneurship. We shall continue to fight until we are able to restore TNT. Forget about provisions of race, class, creed, and political affiliation. Because you know what? There are those of us from all walks of the political frame, of the new generation, who want to see a new type of politics in TNT. I think that if we can demonstrate that we of the new era are tired of the old way of doing things, that we can bring about the change we wish to see. We need to send a clear and direct message to the geriatrics in both government and opposition, who insist on forever peddling a style of politics marred by decades-old conflict that have no business in the politics of today's TNT. We need to demand more. We need to hold those charged with responsibilities to account more and illustrate to them, who seem to be vacant of the concept of how politics should work and what service to the people actually means. Then we can demonstrate to the wider population why we need new blood in our politics. We need a revolution of innovation, ideas, and people's thinking. Personally, as a liberal conservative, I think people have become too dependent in Trinidad and Tobago on government. Even dependent in thinking, would you believe? The newspapers and columnists are a classic example of dependent thinking. There's no wider context or deep analysis or quantitative or qualitative analysis methodology. It's just plain old mediocrity all over. These are the major problems with our society, and to top it all off, in the midst of a state of emergency, there has been not one single credible committee, writer, or even media outlet who has been prepared to stand up for our Republican Constitution, or even critically assess the pros and cons of such a development on the nation's citizens. The thought processes seem to be vacuous in TNT, and this is a matter of grave concern, even if it's just a perception. People really do need to emancipate themselves from mental slavery and remove themselves from being so dependent on government for thinking outside of the box, or be easily puppeteered into believing any and everything that is thrown in their face, no matter if it's your own party, government, MP, corporation, media outlet. People really need to be more aware of their surroundings and not be so easily duped on every aspect of public life. Faith, conviction, and love of country needs to be restored. Restore liberty, independent thought, and demand representation from the people we elected to office. Do not let them get away with arrogance or even tolerate them looking down on you as mere pawns to be controlled. Our government is too big, and they're taking away our freedoms and bankrupting our country in the process. We have to fight for the cause of personal liberty, and we can do this by defending our Constitution.